Okay, we're back for more of these Fate Grand Order. Continue on. Avalon on Bay. And now, this time, better order transition. Yeah, the setup layout for the podcast, whatever you want to call. But anyway, jumping on to this entrance, we're on the garden. The moment a planet is born. I forgot to change this thing.
So, this is Avalon, the planet's inner sea. This is where proper human history's King Arthur is said to have gone after he died.
It's the biggest flower garden I've ever seen. Right. There's no such thing as evil in paradise. It's a separate world that neither influences nor is influenced by the surface, no matter how apocalyptic things may be up there. All there is here is hope. This place is a workshop that weaves together all possibilities to lead this planet, and you guys, to a happy ending. That being said, these are still only the remnants of Avalon, a shadow being projected into the British Lostbelt. The tower imprisoning me isn't here. There isn't much mana in the air, and there's no lake where fairies gather. The only thing here is the site of selection. The forge where the 6 fairies were supposed to create the sacred sword. The site of selection? Is that anything like the stone that contained the sword of selection in Legend of King Arthur? The one that Arthur found when he was still a squire being raised as Sir Ector's adopted child. The one he pulled the sword of selection from to demonstrate that he was destined to be king? That's right. It basically signifies the same thing. And my job is to guide you out there. There, see that altar up on top of that hill? That's your destination. It's only a stone's throw away, but you will need to pass through a few checkpoints of sorts to reach it. Think of them as Avalon's defense mechanism. One final test to make sure everything's in order. Everything the Fairy of Paradise has done to date will appear there as obstacles to be overcome. Everything she's done to date? That's right. You'll be going over a scrapbook of her life, so to speak, and making sure there are no loose ends. It'll be a little journey in its own right. One that starts with the cold, unforgiving winter and ends with the warm, fun spring. Based on how things have gone before, it's safe to say the first obstacle will be the hardest, for many reasons. So Frost, your job is to remove those obstacles and help the Fairy of Paradise advance. Don't worry, you'll be going from hardship to good times, so it'll only get easier the closer you get. And just so we're all clear, let me repeat. The Fairy of Paradise's duty is to create the sacred sword. By doing so, the British Lostbelt will lose its divergence point, and human history will be stabilized once again. Without its tree of emptiness, the British Lostbelt will simply fade away, like all the others. And most importantly, the sacred sword's creation will lead directly to protection of human history. Were this Britain to mix with proper human history, the result would be a world that never had the sacred sword. That would close off the route you have to take to defeat the Foreign Guard. Then again, the Foreign Guard can't stop the collapse either, so you'd both be screwed there. Anyway, I think that's everything you need to know. Any questions? So, making the sacred sword is Artorias' duty.
Come on, Subbash, why so glum? It's okay, there's nothing to worry about. I'm still the child prophecy, remember? This is the moment I've been working toward all this time. I rang all the bells so I could come here. Besides, I've known this way was my duty since I rang the 4th bell in Orkney. I planned to come here alone once Knock-Knock Riabat was coronated. So don't worry about anything else, okay? Besides, Chaldea needs one of those, divine construct things too, right? Then we better hurry. I'm going to protect the Britain I grew up in. And you guys are going to take back the world you grew up in. We need to do this to make both those things happen. And now it's time to get there to it. That's all. This will be the end of our journey. I'm lucky my pilgrimage has been so much fun. Now come on, Zopras. Let's head to the site of selection. Besides, it's not every day you get to go to Avalon. So let's make the most of it. Just watch my back until it's over, okay?
Yeah. Man, this sure is a huge flower garden. Couldn't be more different from Britain burning to the ground. So the fact that it's called Land of the Young must mean there's plenty of food to go around, and people have all the time they could want, right? Yeah, makes sense, there's no war or animosity here. Not much reason to do anything bad if you don't gotta take anything from anyone to have what you need. That's true. When you have everything you need, there's no void for you to fill. That's another way this place is very different from the British Lostbelt, which literally had to be built by filling in the sea with the bodies of death fairies. Speaking of which, this seems like a good time to tell you about what's going on above ground. The prophecy may have said there are two calamities, a red one and a black one. Actually though, there's no limit to the number of calamities. Remember that. New calamities will continue to appear as long as their source remains. The calamities will never go away until Sunun knows the being continually punishing the fairies for their sins is truly vanquished. Furthermore, thanks to Morgan's hard work, fairies born in the land of the Fae can migrate to proper human history. That means the calamities won't be contained to Britain. They'll spread into and then all across the bleached world until nothing remains of proper human history. It would basically be a smaller scale version of the King of Mages' incineration of humanity. So, you guys need to defeat every last one of the calamities before that happens. I see. Then we can't let the Sunanos' curse spread any further. We need to stop his calamities while they're still contained in Britain. Exactly. The calamity burning down Britain right now is actually the great calamity that was supposed to happen 1,000 years ago. Morgan averted that calamity by passing it on to a Fang clan fairy. Vargas, the leader of the Black Dogs. She's not the fairy you knew anymore. She's now burning all of Britain as the Black Calamity. The Calamity of the Beast. Vargas. This was all foreseeable. She was born the child of Calamity, after all. It was Morgan who sealed her fate away by gifting her a name. She said that as long as Vargas was Gawain, she would never become a mythical hound. But even that could only go so far. Vargas was already at her limit, even without you guys defeating her. Honestly, it's impressive she lasted as long as she did. This won't be easy to hear, but you need to understand. Once you get back to the surface, you'll have to fight more than just Sunanos. Like I said, we can't afford to let the calamities leave Britain. Letting some fairies migrate to proper human history was a nice idea. Unfortunately, in Vargas' case, that was never an option. As for the other calamity, the Nunnos, that one you can fight without having to feel bad or worry. His soul was shattered 14,000 years ago. Now he's just a corpse that's not quite done dying. That said, he's still a very powerful god. His flesh has grown thick enough over those millennia to rival Albion's Spear Cavern, and his cursed layer is equivalent to 400 kilometers worth of geological stratum. You'll need the God of Wisdom's curse dispelling, all the fighting forces Chaldea can muster, and a divine construct made especially to combat Sununnos. Even then, you'll only just be able to scrape by. Thinking about it, you honestly may not stand a chance. And I can't help you either, since I can't leave this place. The best I can do is show you the way. Ah man, I was really hoping to avoid the story ending in total annihilation. So, not even you have a plan? And after we came all this way? I know, right? If only we had a God Slayer's weapon lying around somewhere.
But we do. We have the perfect trump card for taking our Tsunanos. In fact, it'll be a piece of cake.
Really? But where is that trump card?
It's Muramasa!
Say what?
Come on, don't you remember? You told us you could cut any god you came across. In fact, you were bragging about how you cut a gigantic one clean in half in that. Olympus Place? Now there's no reason you can't do the same thing here. And since you didn't do anything noteworthy in Camelot, this will be your chance to clean your name.
Do you mean clear your name?
Oh, is that what you say in proper human history? I see. Good to know.
Well, sure. If you really want me to, I can try to cut him down.
There, see? You can do it. Just go to show. It never hurts to ask.
Sheesh. You're finally letting yourself be selfish, and that's the first thing you say. I said I'd try, okay? Don't get your hopes up. Not sure how much I can do against that thing. Otoya? Master, Otoya just disappeared. Is this one of those checkpoints you mentioned, Merlin? Yep, this is the first. She's facing her own memories now. And while she's doing that, you guys will need to fight and defeat those. Merlin, are those? Those are radical, abstract embodiments of Otoya's winter memories. She'll never be able to leave those memories until you defeat them. But they shouldn't pose any major threat to you now that you've come this far. Go on and give them a good thrashing. I'll fight too, of course. It's been ages since I last showed up after all. Plus, I've been wanting to see how much stronger you and Mash have grown up close and in person. Right.
お客様、獲物はあちら
お
でございます。あまり悩ませない式はこうしすべて見つめます。よろしい。はい、NFS サービスイノベーション始めます。
ツーマンの練習だ。こういうのツーマンの練習だな。他にやることないの？
では、俺も力を貸してやろうか。暗き湖、よく言いました。そう、いいでしょう。私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよ、ロードレスキャメロット。
Oh gosh.
罠だ。
内側から終わる。
Oh, dead.
最上に近い勝利だけど。
Thanks, Morgan.
戦う前に勝つくらいでないとな。
I don't know why, but those things felt really awful to fight. That's not actually all that surprising. Those were Castor's most painful memories given physical form. We have no way of knowing what they are, but by defeating them, we felt some of the same feelings they inspire in her.
Where did y'all go? You just disappeared on me out of nowhere. I was very worried.
Hey, you disappeared. We've been here fighting off weird Moors and... Now, Muramasa. All in good time. She has ablutions she needs to perform to enter the site of selection, and we have obstacles to remove. We only have 3 more of these to go. Let's just take them one at a time. Whatever you have to say can wait until after we reach the site of selection.
So I don't have to do any fighting this time? Sounds good to me. Come on, let's keep going.
Whenever I close my eyes, this is where I'd be. It didn't matter if I was awake or asleep. I'd still be shivering from the frigid wind. Howling, wind strong enough to shatter your ears. With nothing to protect me, my body feels cold as ice. Surrounded by pitch darkness with nothing for warmth and no hope of escape. That's how I grew up. For me, Britain was pure hell.
The prophecy was true. She will be our salvation. She will be our absolution. She is the savior who washed up on our shore, along with the name Artoria. May you grow, healthy and strong, to the age of 16. May the queen soldiers never find you. Now go on. Hurry. Hurry and greet your 16th birthday. We have complete faith in you, which is why you must give everything you have for us.
A small newborn fairy washed ashore in a boat loaded with all kinds of treasure.
What an incredible stroke of luck! This girl must be the child prophecy.
What a horrible omen. If the High Queen finds out about her, we'll all be done for. The village fairy's opinions were split right down the middle, but they all agree on what should be done. At least the child prophecy should be useful. We'll raise her outside ourselves until she turns 16. But she's the fairy of paradise, right? I don't like her. I'm sure she's going to mock us. She doesn't deserve a proper house. What do humans do with creatures like that again? I know. They raise them as livestock. We can make her a lovely little stable. The other villagers will never find out about her if we say we're raising a horse. We can keep the child prophecy all for ourselves. The fairies of Tantagel treated me as a precious resource. I had almost no magical energy, which made them all worry about me.
It's been 4 years since she got here, and she still has barely any magical energy. Poor thing. She may as well be a human. I can't believe she still can't do anything impressive. I'm worried. Will she be able to survive like this? I know. We need to train her. We need to be harder on her. Methodical with her. We can't even give her time to sleep. Forgive us, Castor. This is all for your own good. The way you are now, you can't even dream of being the child prophecy, and we don't have any time for dreams. We really need to have her grow at least a little. You can barely tell her apart from a human. No one will believe she's the child prophecy like this, not even when she turns 16. Who cares if she can defeat the queen or not? All that matters is that she's valuable. It doesn't matter whether she's the real child prophecy or not. She just has to look the part so we can get rich. Why else would we bother taking in a fairy of paradise? Just have to make sure she doesn't die. We don't have to worry about her running away. She's too weak to do that.
But the village fairies didn't know that my Fey eye still worked. However much I wished I couldn't, I always saw the true feelings they kept to themselves. Deep down, they all feared and loathed me. The fairies that feared me believed in the child prophecy with all their hearts and worked me like a slave. The fairies that loathed me hated the fairy of paradise and abused me without a second thought. Aside from that, All anyone felt for me was indifference. I was considered a precious resource, but treated like I wasn't even there. But I couldn't blame them for that. I more or less knew what my duty was. I was to bring salvation to the fairies of Britain, to free them from their suffering, and to save them in the true sense of the word. Even as a child, I understood that fulfilling my duty would mean the end of Britain as it existed now. I could deal with the slave driving, the abuse, and the disinterest because I knew the reason behind them, but the sound was too much to bear. Asleep or awake, there was never a time I didn't hear it. Hours of deceit, hours of self-interest, hours of selfishness, hours of envy. The sounds I could never shut out, the sounds of the fairies' true feelings. It was enough to make me lose track of where I was and where I was meant to go. I hear bells ringing. They tell me to go on a pilgrimage to save the fairies. Honestly, the sound depresses me too. I know it's supposed to be an honorable mission, but how in the world am I supposed to save fairies like that? Ha! Yeah! Die! So that's why I'm out in this nearby field again, hard at working on my training. Today's another day of close quarters combat practice with the staff selection, which arrived with me on my boat as a weapon. I can't use anything like Fey domains. The only thing I can do with the staff is bop people. Hey-ya! Rah! Rah! Ha! Ha ha. It was an early afternoon in my 6th year. I had just collapsed from exhaustion. My melee combat training was the only time I had to myself once the villager keeping an eye on me left, figuring I was so weak I wouldn't be able to escape anyway. Huh? Then, just as my voice was trailing off. Ah, that was nasty! The fairies at your place are pretty horrible, you know that?
Huh? Did you just talk, staff?
No, I'm not the staff of selection. I'm just a nosy old busybody. And I just couldn't take how awful Tintagel is anymore, or how sickening it is to see you doing everything they tell you. I just had to say something. I swear, I wasn't planning on getting involved, but now I just don't think I have a choice. Listen up, I'm Merlin. Merlin, the Mage of Flowers. I'm going to be your teacher from now on. Don't forget it. That was how I met Merlin. Or at least, his voice coming from the staff of selection. That was how I began studying to be a mage.
Magecraft? I know about that. Queen Morgan uses that. But what exactly is it? What exactly are you going to teach me?
What do you mean? Magecraft, of course. Merlin Magecraft. Trust me, it's really something.
Oh, will it let me fly like a bird? Like Zoom? Whoosh! Choo!
Flying. You like to fly, huh? That's a pretty tall order for your first spell.
You don't know how to fly? What are you, some kind of quack?
Oh no, I can fly easily. I'm the amazing Merlin. But let's hold off on that one for now. Not even the Wind Clan can fly, after all. The sky is a dragon's domain. Only precious few upper-class fairies can go there. So for your first spell, let's start with something closer to home. Something that will make your life easier. Tell me, is there anything you could do? Is there anything you could use right now that you... Tell me, is there anything you could use right now that would make you happy?
Well, I guess I like it if nighttime was warmer. My house gets really, really cold. It even freezes over into the winter. I actually lost 2 toes last year because of that.
Ooh.
Haven't told anyone else though. It's too embarrassing.
Got it. I'll start studying. I mean, start getting a lesson ready for you right away. Just give me 2 days to find some teaching materials. Merlin taught me all sorts of spells. Eating, detection, healing, linguistics, camouflage, lock-picking, stealth attacks, explosive, obstacles. Every time I expressed interest in learning a new spell, he'd say, "Sorry, I can't today. You'll just have to wait until the next lesson." And then we'd make magecraft items together. Those lessons formed the foundation of my Merlin magecraft. Looking back on it, he must have had to change the spells a lot just so I could use them with my tiny pool of magical energy.
Hey, why are you teaching me all this when every British fairy hates me?
Because I'm not a British fairy. Sorry, just kidding. The fact is, you are the fairy of paradise, no matter what the fairies of your village think. Eventually, most fairies will come to follow you. When they do, you'll need to be the ideal. No, the kind of savior that everyone dreams of. A fantastical savior.
Fantastical?
That's right. You'll need to be a character straight out of a children's story. Everyone has different fantasies. Some want a strong king, some a kind king, some a scary king, and so on. Your job is to be able to be all of those things. You need to inspire hopes and dreams, or rather, bring them all together. Everything wants something different, though a single name will only get in the way. That's why you need to be a nameless king. Someone who stands at the edge of the world rather than its center, and serves as a beacon of hope for others just by virtue of existing, glowing starlight shining with possibilities. That's the kind of king I'd like you to become. The kind that can inspire people from atop castle walls, no matter the time or place.
Can I really be all that?
Sure you can. It might be impossible in reality, but anything's possible in fantasy. And people have always had a way of making fantasy become reality. That's why futures we thought we could only dream of eventually stop being dreams. Merlin was very talkative, and a lot of fun to be around. But that only lasted for a year. A fairy girl saw me laughing in the field and reported me to the village elder, who responded by taking away the staff of selection until I turned 16 and set out on my journey. From then on, every day was more painful than the last. That's the end of my winter memories. Oh. Autumn memories. Again.
一気火星に畳みかける。
完成に終わりなさい。あまり悩ませない。楽しくないです。そのイノベーション始めま。
じゃあツーマンの練習だな。じゃあこういうのどうだ？
では俺も力を貸してやろうか。目に映るもの、目を背けないで。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。最果てにありながら鳥は明日を来るでしょう。ロードレスキャメロン。死になさい。
無駄だ。
Done.
戦いは結果だけのこと。つまりは我々の積み重ねの勝利だよ、マスター。
Oh, another one. Autumn. Astoria's memory. This happened when I was 12 years old. So, you're 12 now. You've done well to grow this far. Right. I think it's time I sent you on an errand. I'm a little worried about letting you go alone, but you are stronger now that you can use magecraft. You know where Drift Cape is, yes? There's an Earth Clan fairy living there. I'd like you to bring this to him. Just make sure you're back by nightfall.
Huh? No way. Could that house be...
There was no mistaking it. That lone house on top of the cape was an iron theme park. An artisan workshop like Merlin had told me about. The kind of place at the very top of my bucket list. The kind that couldn't be found in Tintagel.
It's a smithy! Wow! Cool! Wow! This is amazing!
Even I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I couldn't have acted more suspicious if I tried. I probably looked like a burglar. There was no surprise when... What are you doing here, girl? Are you trying to get your head split open?
Ah!
Our first meeting couldn't have gone worse. His name was Hector. He was a blacksmith of the Earth Clan. He was an eccentric who'd been living on the Cape for hundreds of years, and everyone in the village feared him. He was really stubborn and kind of scary looking, but he was a true friend and never once lied to me. That leather pouch is from Tintagel. So you weren't trying to steal my iron? You were bringing me some? So you're not a burglar, eh? So this is from the Tintagel Elder. What was that? I can't hear you! Speak up! Enunciate! Louder! Hector's hearing was poor, so I had to be really loud if I wanted him to hear me. What's more, he hated fairies. Both his inner voice and his heart were dripping with pitch-black hatred. He's gonna kill me if I stay here too long. He really is going to split my head open with that hammer. My excitement about being in a real smithy gone, I decided to leave the Elder's package and beat a hasty retreat. But then... Wait! Let me get a good look at you. You're the child of prophecy, aren't you? I see. So it's already been 12 years since Einzel made her prophecy. Get back to your village. This is no place for a young girl. I live out in this backwater so I don't have to see anyone. Don't you ever come here again, got it? I don't have time to deal with the child prophecy.
Yes, sir! Sorry for the intrusion!
In a panic, I made my way out of his house, just avoiding the hammer he threw my way. I ran from the cape and straight back to the village. My steps were slow and plodding, but even less pep than usual. Back to Smithy? I came back. Didn't I tell you to stay away? What are you doing here? Why did you listen to me? Is every fairy with that face actually a boy? Or maybe a bear? Don't touch that! That's processed iron. It'll give any fairy who touches his awful hot. Looks like you're okay. I see. You might look like a Wind Clan fairy, but you're actually with the Demon Boar Clan. Of course, there is no such thing as the Demon Boar Clan. So, you're not afraid of iron or the forge, huh? What, you got an interest in them? I see. I see. Back again, are you? Well, I doubt anyone else in that village would want to spend time with me. Your outfit's rubbish. Nice Dye has a lot of pockets, but the seams and finish are horrible. Here, give your elder a message from me. Tell him I'll give him a discount if he sends someone to help me.
Really? Hector, does that mean...
Don't call me Hector. Just Grandpa Smitty is fine. You better be here every other day to help out. Got that? I don't know who taught you how to hold a tool, but you're doing it all wrong. You're going to hurt yourself that way. You gotta learn the fundamentals. Can't have you dying in a shop accident and ruining my reputation. If you're really interested in learning what it takes to be a smith, I can teach you. But don't expect me to pay you. If anything, you ought to be paying for me for these lessons. I'll put it all on a tab so you can pay me back when you make it big. And so, I began studying a new field in preparation for my journey as the child prophecy. Hector was rough and intimidating, but he also excelled at fine craftsmanship and intricate ornamentation. A year after I started helping him, I learned that Hector was famous in certain circles as a master smith. I found out he didn't just take jobs from other villages in southwest Britain. He also occasionally got special orders from big cities like Salisbury, Oxford, and even as far on as Manchester. For example,
Excuse me, is Sir Hector in?
it was the first time a customer had shown up personally at Hector's workshop. I tried to give her a proper welcome so it would reflect well on Hector.
Sir Hector, are you here? I'm Gawain. I sent you an order. I sent you an order some time ago.
I don't know if it was intentional or if she just couldn't hear me, but she ignored me completely. So you're Gawain, huh? Never thought I'd see another Tamlin. I can see you're a strong one. You ought to be able to handle this armor then. It's all ready to go in the back room. If it fits alright, I can pack it up for you today. Give me a hand, Artoria, and make sure you don't drop it. It ain't cheap.
There's no need for that. If it fits well, I'll just wear it out.
I see. Alright, come with me then. Artoria, you stay here and tidy up. I heard the clatter of armor being put on in the back room, along with Hector and the fairy's conversation. Apparently, she was an amazing upper-class Fang Clan fairy who had been chosen to become a Tamlin. She was also well known in Gloucester social circles, had impeccable manners, and was as strong as she was tall. And she obviously had enough money to buy the silver armor Hector had been working on for the last 4 years. For some reason, I found myself getting angry.
This is fantastic work, Sir Hector. I'm grateful you were here to do it.
It was a fulfilling job. The only one I've had since I came here.
Really? I would think an artisan of your skill could easily find work anywhere. I know this is rude of me to suggest, but my own city still lacks a sizable smithy. If you think you might be amenable to moving there. Huh? What the hell is she on about? Did you hear that? It almost sounded like a bullfrog. Or maybe a night crow.
Stay out of this, you idiot! Don't you know she's a Tamlin?
But, come on, Grandpa. Who the hell does she think she is? Trying to persuade you to move away?
I won't deny that I had something of a foul mouth by this point. I blame Merlin for that. Still, I really was pissed, so I marched up to the Tamlin and glared at her, hoping it'd make her leave.
Oh, you must be Sir Hector's apprentice. I can understand how you feel. I would be sad to part ways with the trusted mentor as well. I am therefore willing to forgive this outburst. But regardless, don't talk to me again until you've grown up some. When you're as tall as I am, it's a literal pain in the neck to talk to smaller people. Not that I imagine anyone of your size could ever even begin to understand what it's like.
And with that, the Tamlin up and left. It was clear she had forgotten all about me the moment she stopped speaking to me. Her signature on Hector's order slip didn't say Gawain. It said, "Barred guest." Some weird curse kept me from reading it, but since I can always tell when someone is lying, I could see through it. I'm gonna remember that name. You see if I don't. Not bad. I ran out of things to teach you in only 4 years. Apprentice or not, you're a fully fledged smith now. Not much we can do about your lack of magical energy though. How are things with the village fairies? Do they still believe you're the child prophecy?
Things are the same as ever there. Half the village still doesn't believe I am. Everyone wants to send the child prophecy on her way, though, so things more or less work out. What about you, Grandpa? Do you really think I'm the child prophecy?
Why ask me? I couldn't care less about Tintagel. Now go gather some sand from this beach. We need to make a lot of jewelry starting tomorrow. There's a festival coming up in the Katsith village soon, and they order a bunch of cheap trinkets. Hector was very good with his hands, though in addition to weapons, armor, and household items, he also made jewelry. His workbench was always covered with different kinds of ornaments and accessories. He said they were just cheap trinkets meant to fool children, but for someone like me, who'd only ever had one outfit to call her own, they may as well have been the crown jewels. They glittered like stars in the night sky, red, blue, green, and sometimes even yellow. Apparently, I had a habit of stopping what I was doing and gazing at the black barettes that were all arrayed on the workbench. One day, on my second autumn of helping there, Hector saw me absorbed in them and said, "If you want, go ahead and take one to keep for reference. I can write it off within the margin of error." For a smith, the margin of error refers to products that are cracked or broken in the process of making something. Of course, Hector would never make anything defective, but he was kind enough to offer me one anyway, to encourage me. But
Thanks, but no thanks. If I brought something of my own back, they just take it away again.
I was thrilled that he offered it to me. I wanted so much to accept it that my vision blurred with tears. But the fairies of Tintagel had proved with the staff of selection that I could never have anything I really cared about. Still, it did help me remember a conversation I'd had when I was younger. It was with Merlin, when I was recklessly working day and night to try and move things along as fast as I could. Man, it sucked when things that should have disappeared long ago just stick around. Like those narrow-minded fairies who keep trying to control you. This is the worst. Everyone in Britain is so awful now. Just kidding. But if that's how you feel, Artoria, you should say so. It's okay to what? It's okay to want what you want. You don't have to deny yourself. Now, what is it you want the most right now? Don't be embarrassed. Just tell me.
I want a spell that can blow an enemy to smithereens. Here, like this.
I see. So you need a tool. You can charge with magical energy, and a spell you can use to make gunpowder explode. This is dangerously close to magical terrorism. Then again, there's no telling when or where the Black Dogs might come after you. Okay, I'll try putting together a little recipe. Just give me 6 days, okay? Let's see, I think there was a smith in Norwich who's an expert in this sort of thing.
You're so kind and helpful, Merlin. I bet you've been on a lot of dates, haven't you?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't really understand much about that whole love business. It's a lot like food for me. Instead of thinking about my companion, all I think about is what it tastes like. That's kind of why neither fairies nor humans ever had much love for me. But then, once I was suddenly thrust into a role where I had to be romantic, and I ended up being better at it than anyone else. Honestly, I'm more unsure of what that says about me than anyone.
So, you don't have a single lover? Even though you're the Mage of Flowers? Aren't you lonely?
Maybe. Though probably not too much since I didn't realize it until you said something. It's not something I ever worried about. I always knew it'd be forever out of reach. That said, for me, studying magecraft, looking for a way to save Britain, and finding a lover are all basically the same.
What do you mean?
What I mean is, it might be lonesome to look for a star you know doesn't exist, but it's also kind of fun. Then, on the morning I turned 16, the village fairies all gathered in town square and told me, "We want to see proof. Proof that you really are the child prophecy. That blacksmith who lives on the cliff is an Imperial guard. You're the only one he's not wary of. You're the only one he trusts. If you're truly the fairy destined to save Britain, then kill him for us. Please, please, we're so anxious. Our every day is filled with fear. So go on. Prove you can protect us by taking care of him." That's the end of my autumn memories. Kidding me. Summer. Shit. I'll just use this shit. Back in line.
クレイジーマット武士道とりあえず羅刹と化すわ修羅になるわ羅刹と化すわイノベーションはい NFS そのようにでは罠を仕掛けるのは楽しいね
急だな。じゃあこういうのどうだ？
刻むわよ覚悟はいい？行くわそれね炎は獣に竜は我が手にくさびを破壊し命の鎖を引きちぎるペルカーボルトフォイヤドラーヘ
Fuck. Oh well, wait, no,
ま
it's
だ
fine.
まだチリアクタと化せ修羅になるわ
最上に近い勝利だけど
Okay.
戦う前に勝つくらいでないとな
A new player, Avalon. Rush the fuck out of story or is farming a bit good? Well, I mean, if you really truly care about that story, then just read it. Otherwise, you don't really care about that story, then you can just skip over it and then just enjoy some gameplay. And then the farming is an optional. If you want to like level up your servants and skills, then that's your optional during that time for half AP off. So, I don't know. Whatever that decision is your choice to pick. That you want to level up or you care about the story just for casual, then this is for you. Apparently, the Earth Clan fairy living on a cape used to be one of Queen Morgan's Imperial guards a long time ago. The village fairy's word was genuine. They really did believe that killing Hector would keep the village safe. So they closed in around me and begged me in all sincerity. "Please, kill him. kill him for us. Kinda, it's a little bit longer than the Camelot. However, the Lostbelt 5, Olympus, and Atlantis were the longest one. Wow, that Avalon the Fate is also the longest one too as well. So just keep in mind, the story is that kind of long. So if you don't really want to read that kind of story, then you can just skip the kind of thing you don't want to hear about dialogue and stuff and just enjoy the gameplay. If you really are the child prophecy, then kill the Queen's agent for us. It would have been almost impossible to refuse. So like always, I took an easy way out. And so...
Okay. Okay, I will. I am the child prophecy, after all.
I decided to do what they wanted of me, and went off to kill my friend. This is why I said I could never have anything I really cared about. Okay, well, skipping a lot, then you simply don't care for a story, that's fine. But you might not know what's happening in a fight, though, anyway. For, spoiler stuff. The servant's name revelation. Servant's true name revelation, stuff like that. But, that's up to you.
I have to kill him. 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 If I don't kill him, they'll think I'm an imposter, and they'll kill me instead.
It was easy to sneak in, since Hector was hard of hearing. He was sleeping on his stone bed, completely defenseless. In my hand, I had a rusty iron knife the fairies had given me. The truth is, it wasn't impossible to refuse. I was just scared. Scared of being called an imposter. Scared of getting beaten for being useless. Scared that my life so far might have been for nothing. And so... I got so fed up and angry that I brought the knife down as hard as I could.
Oh well, maybe things will work out.
I shut the now chipped knife and began walking the dark path back to the village. I was practically trembling with fear, but I also knew the village fairies were simple folk. I was almost strangely optimistic that I could get out of this as long as I explained everything.
Don't let her fool you. She didn't kill the blacksmith. I was watching the whole time. She didn't do anything to him. She just cut one of his helmets. And that's not all. I know her mage scrap is fake too. It's all just smoke and gunpowder. She's not a child prophecy. She's not special at all.
What did she say? Is that true? She couldn't kill the Imperial Guard? She wouldn't kill one of Morgan's agents. Then she can't be the child prophecy. I knew it didn't make sense. I tried to run away, but the village fairies were all stronger than me and had more magical energy too. Grab Castor! Grab the liar! Hand her over to Woodrose's executioners as a child prophecy imposter! They caught me in no time and threw me in an underground jail. The fairy who accused me was smiling so smugly, so triumphantly, but I wasn't surprised. Whenever she talked to me claiming to be my friend, she was always consumed with envy and doubt. She wasn't a bad person. It was just fairy nature. Even when you know someone is objectively worse off than you are, you just can't help but be jealous when they are treated like they're special. After that, life in the village became very hectic. Woodrow's executioners, a horrific group of soldiers who went around capturing fairies suspected of being a child prophecy and taking them to the castle. They were to arrive in Tintagel in 3 days, and I was to wait for them in my cell until then. So, you finally showed your true colors. I can't wait to hand you over to the High Queen. I never believed you were a child prophecy. There's no way a fairy like you could be our savior.
I don't want to hand you over to Woodrose, but everyone else says that's what needs to be done with imposters. But is it really so important?
It's awful that things have come to this. We were so close. So very close. But then, I suppose it was always too much to hope for. This village would have disappeared the year you washed up on our shore if you hadn't come along. You and the treasure that was on your boat gave us hope. But now, the treasure's all gone. Soon, our village will be. Then again, if we all tell Woodrose you're the genuine article, maybe we can still get a sizable reward.
I'm sorry, Castor. I tried to talk the others out of this. I really did. I'm so sad things have turned out this way too. You really did do your best for us.
A lot of fairies came to visit me in jail, each for their own reasons. The fairies of Tintagel were divided right down the middle into supporters of the Queen and supporters of the child prophecy. The fact that I was in jail must mean that the pro-Queen fairies have gained a numbers advantage. There was no fairy left who could rescue me. But there was someone. Here. Someone sent me a message on my text. But there were some who were willing to look the other way if I escaped, and I figured that was enough. Either way, everything hinged on what would happen in 3 days. I would have one last chance to escape after they let me out of jail, right before they handed me over to the executioners. I made sure to stay in shape so I could run whenever I needed to, and kept a constant eye out for opportunities.
Gotta believe I'm going to escape. I've been training my whole life to go on this pilgrimage. I can't let it end before it even begins.
Hearing commotion outside, I thought the executioners must have come and readied myself to escape. So, you're still alive. Guess not even these fairies were that stupid.
Hector, what are you doing here? What happened to you?
What? This? Don't worry about it. I had to beat a few fairies up to get here. But never mind that. You've got to go. Here, put this on. It's no helmet, but this hat should help protect your head and hide your face at least a little.
Huh? You mean you're here to help me escape? Oh, this hat's so cute and stylish. I knew you had good taste, Hector.
Stow the compliments. Here, I got this back for you. It was always yours anyway. It was the staff's selection that had been taken from me when I was a child. 9 years had gone by since I last saw it, but it still felt like an extension of my body. Though, sadly, it looked like it had long since lost Merlin's flippin' voice. Go on now. Hurry. It won't be long before Woodrose's executioners.
Hector?
Don't call me by that name. It'll only bring you bad luck. I took out the guards, but there'll be new ones here soon. We need to get you out of here while it's still dark. Run as fast as you can, if you can make it to Salisbury's plains. What was that? It's coming from outside. At the time, I could only imagine that the executioners had come and set the village on fire. I can't believe it. I knew they said they would have to cut down the number of mouths to feed for winter. But killing each other over it? That's not just stupid. It's downright pitiful. What's going on here? Why are the fairies who called for us killing each other? Who's in charge here? Where's the child of prophecy? Please stand back, Litwood Rose. These fairies have all gone mad. We can't question them now. What would you have us do, sire? Urgh, damn bloodthirsty fools. Baton wielders, exterminate the residents. Spear wielders, guard the exits. We can't let any of them escape now. Don't bother putting out the fires until the fairies have been dealt with. But make sure to capture any fairy who could be the child prophecy alive. Her Majesty's orders.
No!
I didn't have any particular plan. Heck, I didn't even have time to think. But just as I was about to make a run for the town square to try and rescue everyone. Stop, Artoria! You'll never make it in time. You need to get away from here. Now! Besides, why would you want to help them? They were going to sell you anyway.
I know, but...
They were still the fairies I'd grown up with. They may have lied to me almost non-stop for my entire life, but that didn't mean I could just abandon them. Fool. Just come with me, damn it! They're here for the child prophecy. Once you're gone, there won't be a reason for the execution to be here anymore. Once you reach the cover of the forest, you can do whatever you want. Grandpa took my hand and ran. Phew, there we are. You can go the rest of the way alone. I fought some of Woodrose's soldiers on the way, so it won't be long before more show up. You need to get away from here before they do.
What about you, Grandpa? I don't suppose you could come with me.
No, I can't. I still have work left to do. Once I'm sure you've escaped, I'll be heading right back to my forge on the Cape, and that'll be that. You've been nothing but trouble, girl. Don't visit me again.
But Hector, you're...
I couldn't help it. I could see his kind-hearted lies. I could see the deep wounds to his sides, though he'd hidden with his clothes. I could see how his strong back had practically been cut to ribbons. And I could see that his failing heart would stop entirely once I took my eyes off him. Right. You fairies of paradise really are a pain, aren't you? The village is done for. The executioners are here. Hold your head up. Hold your head high. Grip your staff tight. Now is the time to begin your journey, Artoria. Remember, no matter what anyone says, even if you don't believe it in yourself, you are the child prophecy. You could have killed me that night, but you didn't. That's who you really are. No matter how much Britain rejects you, or how much the fairies shun you, or even how much weaker you are than them, you're still a better choice for savior than anyone else. I don't think you ever realized it yourself, but you're just not capable of getting angry for your own sake. And besides, you're the spitting image of her. A stubborn sore loser who keeps getting back up no matter how many times she falls. That's why I know you'll see your chosen path through to the end.
No! I want to go back to Forge and live with you at the Cape. That'd be way more fun. Besides, once I turn 17, the prophecy won't be true anymore, and I won't make any more trouble for you.
But that dream would never come true. He never even heard what I wanted to say. I don't know who Grandpa was, or why he did so much for me. All I know is the heartbeat I can still hear today. The sound of my own, still living heart.
Right. That's right. The one thing I have going for me is my ability to quickly cheer up, no matter how many times I'm brought down.
I secure my new hat atop my head and grip the staff of selection tight.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for raising me until I turned 16. I'm the Fairy of Paradise. I'm the one who's meant to bring Britain the salvation it really needs. So I'm going to begin my pilgrimage now, just like you wanted me to.
But that was easier said than done. Forget beginning my pilgrimage. I couldn't even get anyone to take me seriously. I tried to meet with the head of the Wing clan in Salisbury, but the rebel army turned me away at the door. I tried doing a few odd jobs in response to their demands that I prove I was a child prophecy, but Which hole in the woods did you crawl out of? Your clothes are a mess, and you've got almost no magical energy. But at least you're a decent worker. Nice job taking care of the Moors on the highway. I don't know how many centuries it'll take you, but hey, good luck saving Britain. We don't need a child prophecy here anyway, girlie. We have Lady Aurora looking out for us. But the fairies are waiting for the child prophecy. Don't let them fool you. They're just pretending. Fairies latch on to anything that seems like fun, or even just whatever's trendy. Nobody actually wants to or believes in the child prophecy. We all love it if Morgan went away. For her aside, we're happy with the way things are now. After being laughed off, I used my anger as fuel to take me from west to east and back again, fooling myself into thinking that starting with smaller villages would yield better results than big cities. I went around the forest visiting all kinds of places. But it was no different. Everywhere I went, people laughed at me, used me, and dropped me like so much garbage. On the surface, they were all for the child prophecy. But on the inside, isn't there anything more fun to do?
Now I see. They all love rumors about the child prophecy. The actual child is just a big plan.
I had no one to teach me, and no companions to commiserate with. Every fairy in Britain hated me the second they laid eyes on me. Since humans had no love for fairies either, all I could do was travel alone.
This is hard. Really hard.
Consumed by depression, I decided to go to the Nameless Woods. I didn't have a particular plan in mind. I just wanted to be someone other than myself, even if only for a little while. But the curse of the Nameless Woods didn't even affect fairies from paradise. So much for that. So I just pretended to have lost my memory and went off to the newcomer tent to sulk. But then, a new fairy was carried in. Ash? He had lost his memory and was in such bad shape both physically and mentally that I felt like I had to help him. But most of all, I thought, if he's forgotten about the child prophecy, maybe there's a chance we could be friends. And it all started where I got lost. That's the end of my summer memories. The moment a planet is born. What is this again? Spring.
This is it. We're finally to the spring memories. And since there's spring, I'm sure there's going to be lots of fun. I bet any obstacles you run into here will be total pushovers, so you won't have to worry much about taking them down.
I was hoping we wouldn't have to fight any more of those Moors. Me too. If those really are Artoria's memories given physical form, then I can only imagine how painful they must be for her. Even just facing them as Moors makes me feel like my heart's being gouged out in my chest. Don't worry, that's all done with now that we're past summer. Spring memories are fun times, and fun times only. The only kinds of obstacles I expect to see here are things like, there'll probably be Artoria herself dressed to the nines, or an enormous feast full of delicious foods. That's all well and good, but before we start fighting, there's one thing I want to clear up. You said that the fairy of paradise who rings all the bells of pilgrimage becomes the sacred sword itself, right? Does that mean Artoria's gonna disappear once it's done? Yes, that's right. Creating the sacred sword's conceptual foundation will destroy everything she was, is, and ever will be. That is the fairy of paradise's duty, her function, and even then, the sacred sword won't be easy to forge. Everything about her, every experience she's had, all her memories, even spirit urging, her very fate will be used as materials to make it. It is not a sacrifice, it is an equivalent exchange. And it has to be her. It can't be anyone else. Does Artoria know this? Oh yes, she knows very well that fulfilling her duty means the end for her. That much should have been made clear to her from the beginning. I know how you all feel, but please understand, this really is the only way. She knew what would happen when she entered the Spirit Cavern. Yes, the situation may have forced her hand, but she's still heading to the site of selection of her own free will.
Huh? You're all here?
Artoria? Wait, you're back already? That doesn't seem right. Yeah, we still haven't fought any.
I see. Well, that was easy, huh? It was literally over before I knew it. So that's the site of selection on top of that hill, huh? Okay, last one, there's a rotten egg.
I can't believe it. All those horrible memories. And even at the end, she... I know, it just ain't right. But you know, Frost, if nothing else, I'm glad you're so damn pissed off about it. So look, whatever happens next, just let the old man here handle it. Muramasa? What do you mean by... Never mind that now. Come on, we need to run, or she really will go on ahead of us. Either way, this is the end of her long journey. Let's see how this mission of hers plays out. Where's this one? Site of selection.
敵を
Whenever I close my eyes, this is where I'd be. Whenever I sleep, this is where I'd be. No, that's wrong. It's a lie. Whether my eyes are open or closed, whether I'm asleep or awake. This is how the world has always looked to me. The wind, the clouds, they're not really a storm. They're all people's voices. It's so awful to look at that I put out my own eyes. It's so horrible to hear that I plugged up my ears. But it didn't matter. Nothing banished the darkness or made the wind stop howling. This is the tainted land where I need to fulfill my duty as the fairy of paradise.
I can't do this. I can't do this.
But no one would listen, no matter how loud I screamed. Besides, the wind was blowing so fiercely I couldn't even hear myself. After everything I experienced in the village, and getting to know more fairies better, the storm only intensified. I have no idea which direction it should go, or what I should even look for. I know how this sounds, but Queen Morgan was honestly kind of lucky. She wanted to make Britain into her own kingdom. It was thanks to that powerful, envy-inspiring goal of hers that she navigated the storm without losing her way.
But I don't have anything like that. Not one single thing.
I hate Britain. I hate fairies. I hate humans. So how could I ever see a way through this storm? No, that's not right. I could see a way. It was shown to me when I rang the bells of pilgrimage. Artoria Pendragon, Queen of Britain. When I heard that she was my proper human history self, I thought I was going to throw up. The ideal knight, a king who lived her whole life for others and sacrificed all she had for Britain's future. I don't want to end up like her. I could never live a life like that. But to create the sacred sword is to almost determine her fate. Without the sacred sword, her life would be different. Without the sacred sword, Britain would come to a different end.
Forget this. I should just give up. Yeah, that's it. After all, I'm the only one who can save her.
That's what I thought to myself each and every time I heard the bells ring. But
I can still see that star.
I don't know what that star is. I do know it's not my dream, my goal, or something I care about. But it's always been there, ever since I was born. It may have grown small and weak at times, but it was always there, no matter how intense the storm got.
I don't know where I want to go. I don't care about my duty. I just want to forget all this child property stuff. So why?
I never stopped moving forward. I didn't want to give up. I couldn't let the storm beat me.
I don't get it. Why am I so obstinate? What is it that's stopping me from throwing my life away?
As a fairy of paradise, I didn't have a spring. I didn't have much of anything. That's why I, at least, want to know why I couldn't just give up. I'm no queen. I'm no savior. What brought an ordinary nobody like me so far? What did that tiny star mean for an ordinary girl like me?
Is this the site of selection? The forge meant to make the sacred sword?
That's right. That thing in the middle there is the furnace, the center of the universe. That's where the fairy of paradise is meant to go. All you have to do is stand there, and the sacred sword will come into being. And not just for this Lostbelt, either. It will also finally bestow you with the sacred sword, the one whose concept was wiped clean from your world. And it won't just be something a heroic spirit temporarily reproduces it. It will be a weapon capable of defeating an invader from a foreign world for the humans of this time period.
Does that mean doing this will save Sopras? Does that mean doing this will save Sopras and Mash's world?
It will make the impossible possible. They will go from having no chance to having a small chance.
It will? Well, that's all the more reason to do this. Britain will go back to the way it used to be, and it'll save the outside world too. What more could we ask for?
But it'll also mean...
Hey, what's wrong? You both look almost sick. What is it? Do you need to rest up outside? It's okay if you do. This probably won't take too long anyway.
It's not that. Yes, that's right. Creating the sacred sword's conceptual foundation will destroy everything she was, is, and ever will be. Come on, Artoria. This is nuts. You don't have to do this.
Huh? Don't be silly, Sopras. You're the one who praised me for not running away. Okay, here goes. Oh, since I won't have another chance to say this, I need to get something off my chest. I hated every minute of my life. Everything about it. Humans, fairies, Britain, my duty, everything. Fighting is terrifying. Hatred is exhausting. I would have been so much happier just living a normal life. But I knew how much saying that would disappoint everyone. So I just had to act like a good, dutiful child of prophecy. And that made our journey together a balancing act for me. A hard one. Every time I thought, well, I somehow hung on this time, but I'm sure I'll give up next time. Honestly, no one's more shocked than me that I made it this far. Forging a sacred sword means erasing Fairy Britain from existence. I'll never really love fairies or humans, but I could always see the wish they held in their hearts. Every one of the fairies was suffering inside. They all wished for salvation. Even if they're sinners, even if they're just getting what they deserve, I can't believe they brought this on themselves. Because, hey, we're all the same. Lies of omission and outright deception are just parts of life. And even under all those lies, everyone truly wished to be saved. I swear, I really wish they'd cut that kind of stuff out. It was really hard walking this Avalon path. Sometimes I just wanted to shout, "Can someone cut me some freaking slack?" But looking back now, I'm glad. My life wasn't all that bad after all. Till now, standing here, I didn't think there was a way I, of all people, could save this world. That someone like me could never be allowed to end the world. I mean, it's not fair to decide a world's fate when you don't even like the world, right?
Right. But you're still going to do it anyway, huh?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to fulfill my duty here. And the crazy thing is, even I don't know why. It's probably for some silly, selfish reason. Something no one else could ever understand. You know, I bet it's the same sort of thing that kept you going in the Garden of Lost Will, so Frost. And the same kind of thing that made you stand firm in the face of a calamity in Norwich, Mash. I'm not doing this for anyone else. I'm doing this for me. I'm not even doing it because it's right. I think I've been making my way through this storm because there's something I just can't turn my back on.
My fingertips dissolve first. I can feel the contours of my entire body fading away. My memories will probably go after this. Then, my sense of self. The planet's inner sea isn't stripping away all my memories at once. Like one's just as good as another. To make the sacred sword, it has to go through them carefully, so it could understand humanity in the present day. I was only ever a means to learn about them so it could shape a better, more powerful sacred sword. Good. This should make me into a good sword. A sword bright like the star I saw in that storm. The planet's light that won't ever fade in the face of the wicked. A sword that isn't me, from a place that isn't here. A sword bearing the wishes of the masses and hope for their happiness. A sword who can hold her head high at the sight of selection, and become the saber fit to stay by your side. Oh, I'm so glad. As Castor, the fairy of paradise, I may not have had spring memories. But as Artoria, as myself, I have such wonderful memories of my journey. My body's gone now. By creating a sacred sword, I'll finally fulfill my duty as the fairy of paradise, the Avalon Lefay. My journey as Castor will come to an end. And that's okay. I didn't come this far because I was afraid to die. Still, I wish I could have found out what that light was. The light I've seen all my life. The light that seems to seen me all my life. Wanting to know what it was, and being determined not to give up until I found out, is what's kept me going all this time. I thought I'd find out somewhere on my pilgrimage, but I never did. That's the one regret. That's the one regret. Yeah, can't end things just yet then, can you? Huh? What are you doing here? What do you mean? What am I doing here? Who the hell else is gonna forge this sword? My whole life's been about making blades and cutting through destiny and karma. I'm Senji goddamn Muramasa. Go on, move aside. You brought the iron. Now let the swordsmith do his job. Oh ho! So this is the planet's inner sea, and the universe's furnace, huh? Oh boy, just getting close is enough to burn you. Now that's what I'm talking about. This right here? This is a job worth doing. Thanks, Artoria. Guarding you wasn't a bad gig. But this is much more my kind of work. If I got to say in it, I'll take a searing forge over escort duty any day of the week.
No, you can't. Thank you so much, but you can't do this. It'll burn you to ash.
Fine by me. Swordsmiths, we're born to pound iron. If I can do that in the god's own domain, that's worth burning my life away. Besides, a smithy's supposed to be hot, so I ain't gonna stop pounding for nothing. Not even if my whole spirit urgent burns up. Oh shit. There we go. It's coming along nicely. Basic shape's all set. Now we just gotta temper it. Emiya, what are you doing?
No, stop! You can't! Huh? Ah! I'm floating! Why am I floating?
Oh, that. That'll be because I took over here. You're probably getting booted out so you don't get in the way. Alright, child prophecy. See you around. Got more iron than I need for this sword, so don't need to use it all. Especially if you still got something left to do. I could use this power for the final finishing touch, but I want you to take it for yourself. In exchange, I'm gonna use this to finish the job. Since you brought my life, seems only right that I pay you back with it, right?
Don't be ridiculous! You paid more than paid me back for that! Besides, you're from the outside world, and you're Sophrost's enemy. You don't have any connection to Britain. Don't you have another job you need to do?
True. I don't know how I'm gonna face the foreign god now. But hey, now I'll probably never see you again anyway. Don't worry about it. I'm doing this because it's what I want, just like you. This was always my destiny. That's sad. I'm sorry I never got to make you that barate. Damn. The light went out. Her spirit urgent signal is gone. Artoria, I know the sacred sword had to be made, but did it really have to be?
I know, right? They had to be able to come up with a better way. It's just so inefficient, not to mention inhumane. But I guess it's probably too much to ask for a planet's soul. That's basically what the inner sea is. To think humanely.
Huh?
Sorry to keep you waiting, Sophros. Mash. This is the essence of the sacred sword. Go on. Take it. I'm sure Da Vinci and the other people at Chaldea will be able to use this as a base for a powerful offensive spell. I wish I could have given you Excalibur itself, but I'm afraid things didn't work out that way.
You're giving Mash? Hold up, what's going on? You mean, how did she come back? I'm as surprised as you are. I really thought the Forge would just be turning out a new Excalibur specifically for Chaldea's use. Hang on, where's the ginger? I see. So there was someone who gave her a tiny reprieve. Muramasa. Now I see. It wasn't Artoria Spirit Urgent that disappeared. It was actually Muramasa. He really did protect her to the end. to I can face Day and Night series.
Yes, the heroic spirit Senshi Muramasa sacrificed himself for what he believed in. The only reason I'm standing here now is because he insisted on performing the finishing touches himself. Now that the sacred sword has been delivered to the planet's inner sea, the premise behind this Lostbelt has been overturned. In time, it will be gently pruned away as though it never existed. But before that happens, there's something you need to do. Fairy Britain, the last world made by the traitorous Morgan, is not part of this Lostbelt. As such, the calamity created is not subject to the pruning theoretical phenomenon. It represents a threat to humanity that you must defeat yourselves.
There's something different about you now, but I'm glad you're safe and sound. Welcome back, Artoria.
Thanks, Frost. I'm back as the custodian of the sacred sword and stronger than ever.
True. No matter how you slice it, you've definitely powered up. And wait, that magecraft theory. Instead of hero creation, you have sacred sword creation? No fair. How did you get the skill like that? Are you out to steal my thunder or something? Alright, Merlin, that's enough of that.
It's too bad Bo isn't here right now.
Alright. I know we both have different roles to play, so I'll take this as a win and move on. The heroic spirit protected her, and she still lives as a result. This, too, is fate. The sacred sword has been forged, and this is the moment a planet is born. The child prophecy fulfilled her duty, aided by the foreign mage. So now, it's my turn to help. I'm going to do a small-scale restoration of Britain to the way it was before things turned completely hopeless. Specifically, I'm going to turn back the clock on Sunano's, at least a little bit. Turn back the clock? You mean 2 before he appeared? That's right. Once Sunano shows up and covers the land in his curse, not even a secret source protection will be enough for you to win. So I'm going to have him go back in time by, let's say 2 hours. See, I suspected something like this might happen, so I've kept the entire pit in a dream. Once I have Sunano's wake up, it will be as though the events of that dream, that is, everything that took place there over the last 2 hours, never happened. You can do that? Just like Thanos' power for rewind ability? Indeed. It's been pretty boring waiting around here ever since I was free from the garden. So I spent some time casting a spell on the pit. My spirit urchin is practically falling apart now as a result. But, oh well. Suffice to say, once I disengage my dream zone, I'll probably disappear along with it. I wish I could stick around to see how your battle goes, but sadly, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But don't worry about me. Even when I felt bad about basically demanding Artoria be the only one to sacrifice everything. Sure, things didn't turn out exactly as I planned, but hey, that's why we built in margins of error. For my last trick, I'll even help you out by sending you straight to the storm border, without having to go back through the spirit cavern. When you get there, it will be 1 hour before Sunano shows up, and you'll have another hour after that before his curse spreads everywhere. That gives you 2 hours to settle this, but this time, you should at least have a fighting chance. Muramasa and I both gave everything we had for this. All you have to do now is the best you can. Isn't that right, Nameless King? Then I ask you to watch over Sofrost and Mash for me.
Of course. You take care too, Major Flowers. After all, this is just a shadow of Avalon, so I'm sure the real you is still imprisoned in that tower.
Saw right through that too, did you? Yeah, you're definitely the Sacred Sword's guardian now. Alright, then back to Dying Britain with you all. Once you overcome its Twilit. Once you overcome its Twilit skies, you'll find clear blue ahead. Good. I got them back safely. I'm glad I made it before I ran out of time. Oh, though I just remembered I forgot to ask something. I've been following the Chaldean stargazer's journey with my clairvoyance as much as possible, and Sophros talked to himself a lot more than usual this time. I wonder what that was all about. Rewind time. Interlude. Intermission. Okay. British airspace. 2 hours after the demonic dog's appearance.
A giant demonic beast. I see. So that's the Black Dog's king. A magical energy eater who feasts on smoke and lightning. Vargas has become a calamity. The Nano's curse shows no sign of slowing down. There's nowhere left to run. The way things are going, all fairies are destined to become an unseelie court or turn into Morris. Either way, there's only a handful of sane fairies left. I don't know how long I can hold out either. If this really is the great calamity, then it's all her fault things turned out this way. Aurora, my love, my reason for existing, my... Listen to me, Lancelot. Ainsel is a very dangerous fairy. He always makes such nonsensical prophecies, and nobody has any clue about her clan's true nature. Who knows what she might do if she catches everyone's attention and becomes the talk of all Britain? Remember, the Mirror clan took it in the Fairy of Paradise just like the Rain clan once did. It's terribly irresponsible of her to make a prophecy like that now, especially when a great calamity could happen at any time. Why? It couldn't be a more obvious revolt against Queen Morgane. Just thinking about it makes my wings go dull. You understand me, right?
Redacted.
After all, you're my prince in shining armor. You always bring me whatever I desire most, don't you?
She doesn't have any wicked thoughts whatsoever. Really, good and evil don't factor into it at all. Most people think of her as the kindest, most compassionate fairy, one who strives for a world in which fairies and humans can coexist in peace. But they're wrong. That's just an image she projects. The only one she truly loves is herself. The only thing she cares about is maintaining a world where she's always beloved. A world where she can always be on top. She only advocates for humans so they will fawn all over her. She only guides fairies so they will all respect her. She seems like such a skilled leader because she never fights with anyone. She didn't survive this long because she is strong. She just always had a gift for dragging other leaders down. Every time a fairy more popular than her showed up, she would send the world down a dark path according to her whims. This time was no different. She didn't mean any harm. She just came to the realization that the Mirror clan was dangerous and believed it all her heart. So I killed him, just like she wanted. It was clear beyond any doubt that the Mirror clan had done nothing wrong. But I still had to kill them, or Aurora really would have withered away. As a fairy, Aurora's true skill is to completely convince herself of things that always work out in her favor. That's why she's neither good nor evil. The reason she never lost her radiance over the 3,000 years of her life is that her self-esteem is not of this world. I buried my face in hands stained with the Mirror clan's blood, trying to avert my eyes from what I had done. I had no right to ask their forgiveness, or even to apologize. I knew what kind of person Aurora was, and I still put her radiance first. Because I care more about her than I do all the other fairies of Britain. Aurora didn't do anything wrong. I'm the only wicked creature here. I've committed so many crimes, all because I didn't want to lose her love. Even though I knew it was genuine. I knew it wasn't genuine. But that day was special. The Mirror Clan was special. They were a gentle group of fairies protecting Albion's corpse, and by extension, me. Not one of them so much as resisted. If anything, they seemed to pity me as they came to offer up their own lives.
I didn't have a choice. Aurora would have withered and died if I hadn't done this. This isn't my fault. I didn't want to kill them. Aurora, I did this for you. All I want in return is for you to smile and say, thank you.
I desired not to fly, so I wouldn't leave any evidence. On the night I returned, covered in mud and soaked to the bone. I can't believe the entire Mirror Clan city is gone. What could have happened to them? They say it was a Morse attack, but how could Morse have gotten past the city walls? It must be Queen Morgan's doing. She must have gotten mad at Einzel's prophecy and...
Don't be ridiculous. Queen Morgan is nothing if not prudent. She would never do anything like that. She valued the Mirror Clan's prophecy more than anyone. And Einzel was a wonderful clan leader who only ever wanted was what was best for Britain. Ah, poor Einzel. How could this happen to you? Whatever attacked the Mirror Clan is the foulest of beasts. The most rotten, hateful monster in all of Britain. Even if it may seem pretty on the outside, it only manages that by imitating me. Ah, what a horrendous, awful creature. Just thinking about it makes me sick.
Oh. It was a miracle. It really was. Back in that dark bog, when I was still just a pulsing lump of flesh, she took me in her arms and cradled me like I was the most important thing in the world. Hello there, darling one. Or perhaps I should say, good morning. My name is Aurora. What's yours? In that moment, I gained both mind and body. I knew what it was to feel and to admire. I knew what it was to love someone so deeply it could never be shaken. But...
Of course, that's just who she is. It's just who she is. You know why she cradled me in her arms back then. You know that she doesn't actually love me. But even so, I still love you, Aurora.
Damn. Got betrayed.
That's right. I can maintain this form as long as I have these feelings. Even without Queen Morgan's gifted name, I can still remain myself as long as Aurora is around. Without her, I'd probably return to my original form. To who I became when I bore the hatred of all the northern fairies who were killed in the War of Spring 8,000 years ago. I'm going to go to Salisbury. If Britain really is about to end, I want to spend my final moments as her knight.
Kill them! Kill them! Oh, I guess they really censored that word for K-word, saying that kill them. Kill them! Kill them! Kill! Kill the northern fairies! They're the invaders who brought the calamities upon us! Are there any fairies who've been infected with Moors poison? If you find one, capture and kill them before they become Moors. Round up the humans. Make them fight the Moors. Tell any who refuse an example to the others. The cathedral. Open the doors to the cathedral. This city is tainted. Run for the cathedral. Lady Aurora, help us. Lady Aurora will save us. She's the new Queen of Britain. I'm sure she'll sacrifice herself to the Moors to save us all.
Oh my, they all look so dreadful now. And to think they used to be such peaceful fairies. Aurora. Who's there? How did you get in here? It's me, Aurora. I came down from the bell tower. The city is in chaos. Most of the fairies have lost their minds. It's only a matter of time until they storm the cathedral. Hate to say this, but Salisbury is done for. Oh my. I see. Yes, of course. I still have you, Melusine. Thank goodness you're all right. You are, aren't you? Oh, but of course you are. You're the strongest Tamlin in all of Britain. You never get injured or degrade, no matter what. You're still my beautiful, beloved knight. No different from the day I met you. You couldn't have come at a better time. I knew you were the only one I could rely on. Yes, you're right. Salisbury is done for. No. Britain itself is doomed. If only there were a way we could survive. Ah, how did things ever come to this? It's so terribly sad, but I'm afraid there's no other way. Melusine, would you stay with me? I need you. Yes, of course. I'd be happy to spend our final moments together. I need you to help me escape. You can take me away from here, right? What? Is this so surprising? It's a natural response to run from danger, isn't it? Not in this case. You're just not bothering to think again. Where would you run to, Aurora? Where could you hope to go after abandoning this world and all the fairies who believe in you? Yes, it's all such a shame. But they won't love me anymore, right? So forget about them. Let's go somewhere more fun instead. The world outside Britain. You heard about it from the Chaldeans, right? I'm sure it must be better than this boring old world. It's a world of nothing but poor, weak, filthy humans. Making my ideal world there should be easy. And you and I will be the only two fairies in it. That's what you want, right? My darling child, my little Melusine. I love you more than anyone right now. Now, come, take my hand, and let's go start our new life together, okay? You're right. That is what I want. But if we did that, you'd probably just do the same things to that world that you've done to this one. All while telling yourself you're not aware of what you're doing. Your entire purpose is to be loved more than anyone else. Melusine? What are you talking about? Where's Cora? I don't see her anywhere. Coral? Oh, right, Cora. I turned her into a caterpillar because she was getting on my nerves. Then I accidentally stepped on her. Be careful you don't step in the mess over there. You'll track it all over my nice, clean floor. Aurora, I want you to know that I love you. I love you, whether you believe it or not, whether you even care or not. No matter how evil you might be, I still make all your wishes come true. Oh, that's wonderful. I don't know what you're talking about, but yes, that sounds lovely. Then come on, let's go to the outside world. I'm sure we'll have such a wonderful time there. Huh? Don't you see? That would never happen. That can't ever happen! You never find a love love you need in the outside world. This was the only place you could be more beloved than anyone. Proper human history isn't as simple as Britain. They've seen you for how evil you are in an instant. Do you really think you could survive in a world like that? You, who can't even bear to go without absolutely pristine water? Your wings, your face, everything about you would fade and waste away. And that would be more than you could bear. You'd never be able to love yourself again. But you keep on deceiving yourself, trying to live the same way you always have, even though you no longer recognize yourself. Every morning, you look in the mirror and die a little more inside. Maybe that's just normal life for other fairies. Maybe they wouldn't think anything of it. But for you, it would be the cruelest torture imaginable. Every day, you cry yourself to sleep in despair, unable to even muster the courage to end your own life. Every day would be a flesh hell where you cling to glory that would be forever beyond your reach. Every day, you'd hate yourself more and more. And that would just be...
What are you saying, Melusine? What an awful, fake fairy you are. Talking about a future that could never come to a pass. Why, the very idea of me becoming more miserable with every day sounds even worse than death. Now, never mind that. Hurry and take me to the outside world, to where everyone will love me again. Because you only live to please me, right?
That's right. It would have been better if I had only lived by myself. If I did, then I would have kept you alive no matter what. Without you, I'll just go back to being a hunk of flesh. But I can only live to please you, and that is why I can't take you to a place that would be pure hell for you. Even now, I still remember when we met. I can see it like it was yesterday. I remember the wind that blew through the dark bog. I remember the way you shone so brilliantly. I remember how I swore to give everything I had to protect you. I love you, Aurora. I love you so much. Even I should lose this form forever. I'll always...
Oh boy. Oh man. I have a bad feeling about this. Okay, let me see how far I'm gonna have to stop at that point before it's gonna be such a long fight for that. Okay, this part for section 29, it's going to be a long and gimmick fight for this quest because there's a couple of boss fights that I'm going to be faced against, and I'm going to be shit myself for this kind of things to happen. So I'm probably going to be stopping at the arrow 3, just to you know, stop right there, and then the arrow 4 will be like the next part that will be the you know, the Tamlin Gawain that part. I'm not gonna spoil so much. Anyway, let's get into that. Up until arrow 3 to be stopped. A prophecy. atmospheric magical energy density just skyrocketed. And now there's a second high density magical energy signal too. And on top of that, it looks like Sonanos just disappeared from the pit. I mean, that's certainly better than the alternative, but it still beggars belief. What's going on here, Technical Advisor?
The increase in atmospheric magical energy density resulted from all the fairy bodies being burned. It's no cause for immediate concern, so we can ignore that for now. As for the second high density magical energy signal, we haven't been able to get a visual on it yet, so we can worry about that later too. As far as the pit goes, well, I'm sorry, I have absolutely no clue. All our data collection pertaining to it just vanished. It's almost like time itself has been rewound, but only in close proximity to the pit. Hold on, I'm picking up a space-time tremor inside the bridge. Something's about to come out. Everyone, get down.
We're back. Supras, Karilai, Atoya, Caster. How the devil did you just pop right in here like that? No, never mind that now. Tell me what happened down there. Be as quick as you can.
Blah 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 blah.
And that's everything that happened in Avalon.
So Muramasa's gone too, huh? Mash, bring the round shield to the analysis room, please. I'd like to store the sacred sword essence now, while we still have a chance.
Okay, right away.
Now then, let's make sure we're all on the same page. First off, well done, Silkfrost. Thanks to you, we now know how the British Lostbelt came into being, Sonano's fate, the pit's true nature. Merlin gave us a second chance by winding back the events that occurred near the pit. And we know that a new sacred sword was forged in the planet's inner sea, with Artoria Caster as its custodian. This has given us what we need to put together a plan of attack. Captain, patch me through to Professor, would you? I'm here, Holmes. Don't worry about filling me in. I've been listening in the whole time. I'm aware our observational data regarding the pit disappeared along with the dream, but I trust you still have our navigational records pertaining to it, yes? Then I'd like you to calculate how much time we have until Sonanos appears, and until his curse begins pouring out of the pit. Furthermore, I suspect we're going to engage in close quarters combat with Sonanos involving servants positioned on the border's deck. So we'll need anti-curse measures in place as well as sturdy physical defenses. We're not going to attack Sonanos with the Stormbirders cannons? Considering his massive size, I think that would be our best way of going about it. We'll certainly try that as well, but I doubt typical means of physical intervention will do us much good. While I'm sure he has spirit core just like any other god, it's protected by a thick layer of cursed flesh. Seeing as that curse effectively functions as muscle, we won't be defeating him so much as exorcising him. As such, I suspect that blessed spiritual attacks from Artoria Caster and Grimmer the Sage will be our only effective means of fighting him. Though unfortunately, what we can do to finish the job afterwards remains an open question. I hate to do this to Captain Nemo, but ramming Sonanos at full speed may be our only option. Roger that. The ship definitely doesn't have much curse dispelling equipment after all. I've just completed calculations for the countdown. We have 30 minutes until Sonanos appears. And the last time he showed up, it took another hour for the curse to spill out of the pit. You hear that, everyone? We only have an hour and a half. Our greatest enemy may be Sonanos, but there's another calamity we need to stop before he appears. We cannot let these calamities escape Britain's shores and reach the outside world. To do so would be to let them become part of proper human history as well. Our first objective is therefore to find Vargas, the calamity headed to Norwich from Manchester by the way of Oxford, and take her down before Sonanos appears. Neither we nor Britain have a moment to spare, which is why I'm beginning this operation immediately.
Master Sopros, Artoria Caster, and Grimmer. You three will figure out a way to defeat Tsunanos. Captain, you and the Marines will plot the optimal route for the operation. Da Vinci, Professor, you two will come up with an anti-curse barrier for the storm board. Huh? What was that? Something just attacked us. Impact on our starboard stern quarter. A single strike just carved through our physical defenses. It burned away the armor plating, and the interior hallways are exposed to open air. Damn it! We're in overboard. One of them fell. Damn it! Later, Munier. Right now, we need to know what's going on. Where did that thermic ray come from, Da Vinci? Nothing short of divine construct should even be able to scratch the Stormboarder's armor, let alone shred it. There, I found it. Putting it up on the monitor now. That's a dragon?
Enemy craft is cruising at 1200 kph and still picking up speed. Wow! It's bouncing off the magical energy in the atmosphere. It's at Mach 1, Mach 2. It still hasn't hit its top speed. We're dealing with some kind of supersonic fighter. Hang on, how can it flit around at that speed? Oh crap. Enemy aircraft is coming above and bearing right for us. It's on a collision course. Contact in 10, 9, 8.
Hold up, Munir. Flanking speed. That thing will tear through the bridge if it hits us straight on. We need to dodge it at the last possible second and escape to higher altitude before it can change course. Rah! It was a damn close shave, but we got off with just a few scratches on the prow.
Enemy aircraft is now 10. No, 14 kilometers away. Ah, it just turned around again. What do we do, Captain? That thing's not gonna stop until it brings us down.
I know, just keep taking us up. Can't outmaneuver that thing, so we'll just have to hope we can fly higher than it can. What is that thing, Da Vinci? Do you have any new data yet? Sure do. That wasn't a Talon strike just now. It was a concentrated mana burst straight from the enemy's mouth. It looks like Vargas wasn't the only thing burning Britain to the ground. Just the heat from that thing's breath attack is enough to cleave through the ground. Its acceleration isn't affected by atmospheric pressure or air temperature. And its wings apparently ignore the laws of inertia completely. There's no mistaking it. That thing is Albion, the pure-blooded dragon. A third calamity. A third calamity? Albion's coming after the border. If it lands a breath attack on our stern, we're done for. We already know its breath is strong enough to cut through our physical defenses like paper. One strike to the stern, and we'll lose the whole engine. Everyone, set out and strap in tight. Da Vinci, start tracking the time until the next breath attack. At 2 seconds before impact, I'm going to unfurl the gravity sails to maximum and pitch the ship upward, turning us on our tail. It'll feel like taking a tumble in midair, so the ship's going to take tumbles. It feels like taking a tumble in midair, so the ship's going to shake like crazy. Don't stand up unless you got a death wish. Once we've evaded the breath attack, I'll return the ship to an Once we evaded a breath attack, I'll return the ship to an upright position and maintain our altitude. Here it comes! We're in its firing range. 6, 5, 4, 3. Raise the boat and unfurl the sails. Hold up! Wow! We made it up above the clouds. Okay. We made it up above the clouds, Captain. But, damn it! We burned through almost all the magical energy we had stored up. Now what do we do? There's no way we can dodge another one.
May I say something? I should be able to defend against that thermic ray now. I will not be able to protect the entire ship, and I can only do it for a few minutes. But if there's one section that's absolutely crucial, like the engine, I can at least put up a defensive barrier there. Would that be enough to get us through this?
That's most encouraging, Artoria Caster. But before you do that, I have a question for you. The Calamity's only target is the British ferries. So why is that dragon attacking us? Why'd you be interested in us?
Huh? I don't really know. I'm still learning the ropes myself, so...
It's because we now have a means of saving Britain. Before, the Calamities considered Chaldea to be just another pebble on the road. But now, Artoria is back, and we have a real chance of taking down Sir Nunnos. And the Calamities know just as well as we do that, the Ferry of Paradise is the enemy of Britain.
I see. So before, we were merely passerby. But now that we have a weapon, we're involved. That changes matters considerably. That dragon isn't coming after us. It's coming after Artoria Caster. And that means...
Damn it, Holmes.
Indeed, we can narrow the enemy's focus simply by sending Artoria out to the deck.
Huh?
If Artoria goes out to the deck with her hands up, that will lure Albion towards her. Once it closes in to try to kill her, we'll draw it into close combat. I call it Operation Titanic. What do you all think?
I can't believe this! What the heck kind of hero is this guy anyway?
A great detective.
I don't know what a detective is. I don't know what a detective is.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know what a detective is, but if proper human history calls someone like that a hero, it deserves to be destroyed! Look, even if I actually agree to this insane decoy scheme, I won't be able to defend the ship at the same time. I can either lure Albion in, or I can protect the ship from its breath attacks. Doing both just isn't an option.
Damn it! Just when I thought we have a viable plan. Artoria knows her limits. It's not a matter of willpower or coincidence. If she says she can't do something, it's because she really can't do it. So we'll just have to drop this plan and... No, we don't. You need a decoy to lure that dragon in, right? Then I'll do that while you protect the ship, Artoria. Percival? I'm sorry, he insisted on coming to the bridge.
I appreciate your offer, Percival, but I'm afraid you simply wouldn't work. That Calamity is after the Ferry of Paradise. There is no one else who can take Artoria's plan.
That's where you're wrong. I can take her place. This spear is the spear of selection, the same one used by the last Ferry of Paradise. I'm an artificial child prophecy, which makes me the perfect person for this job. Alright, here goes. The dragon's mind no longer functioned like a person's, but that wasn't a problem for it. It was originally made up of whatever happened to be nearby. Things like the northern fairies' grudge that had been around for thousands of years, and a clump of dying cells that had fallen off the dragon's remains. It was an extermination engine meant to destroy the land around it. The land made of fairy corpses. It no longer had anything in the way of pain, grief, joy, or love. It just was. The commands running through its brain as electrical signals couldn't have been simpler. Objective: stop anyone impeding Britain's collapse. Reason: unknown. Target: flying enemy aircraft. Target: tip of flying enemy aircraft. Action: eliminate. Action: destroy. The dragon soared across The dragon soared across the twilit sky, the wind screaming past its ears. It felt nothing. Nothing at all. Not a single human impulse ran through its brain. Target acquired. Target acquired. Target. Its visual data wavered. An ache built in its chest, in a hollow where its heart should be. There was something very familiar about the target standing on the tip of the flying enemy aircraft. Good. I can still move. I should be able to manage like this. I hope you're all watching this, everyone. Alright. I understand what I have to do. I'll stay put on the bow and let all of you handle the dragon. I'm in no condition to fight anymore anyway, so decoy duty should be perfect for me. Come on, you two. Please, don't look so gloom. I'm glad I can still be useful somehow. You really don't need to feel about this. That said, I do have one last request I'd like to make. Please, don't think too badly of this Britain, or of the fairies who lived in it. Just like there are good humans and bad humans, there are also good fairies and bad fairies. There's no such thing as a bad species or a bad society. There are just good and bad people. I don't know anything about your world or proper human history, but I do know this. Even though it ended up like this. Even though so many sad, tragic things happened here. Fairy Britain was still a beautiful kingdom and a wonderful world. Our Britain may be dying, but that's not because it was wrong. It's not because it was a bad world. Things that should persist will persist. Things that should continue on will do so. That's all I wanted to say. So please, hold your heads high. Our world took over 10,000 years to come this far. It may never be perfected now, but your world still has a future ahead of it. So I hope you'll take advantage of that to make it there someday. Even if it takes hundreds, if not thousands of years. I hope your world will one day become a utopia where every living thing can find salvation. Thinking back on it now, I might have come across a little arrogant. But I guess I couldn't have been too bad if both Soapfrost and Mash smiled at what I had to say. Alright, Percival, let's show everyone why you're a Knight of the Round Table. This will be your last battle, so make sure it's one you're proud of. All that aside, this is kind of crazy, isn't it? I still can't believe I'm riding on a flying ship. It's like something out of a story. If this goes well, I'll have to make sure Gareth and the Round Table Army never hear the end of it. Enemy dragon incoming! Accelerating to maximum speed to match. We only have enough fuel left for one shot at this. Soapfrost, I want you to back Artoria Caster up by throwing everything you got at it. Enemy contact in 10 seconds. This will be our first battle against a calamity. Good luck, everyone. Okay, this one. Up to 4 servants, alright. Would need... Sure hit. Or, let me check this one here. Nah. Here's this one. Nope. So if I chop this, and I should. Whoa, we're on Sky. Dragon Corpse of Obion.
まだまだ未熟者ですが頑張ります。
You motherfucker, I hate this shit. Look at this. Look dumb.
白兵戦行きます。やだな。白兵戦行きます。
Maybe I should just restart because fucking card deck screws me, man. That was stupid. Card deck screws me. Let me check one more time. No. Yeah, I'll go with, wait, what the hell is this one here? Yeah, I'll go with this one.
「光の子やんすかや登場。雑魚の皆様、白兵戦覚悟のほどを。戦いですか。
何ということにらしいかように何ということにらしい
皆様に好き放題扱っお参りしていきます。
切り捨てる一切承知参る我が心は不動しかして自由にやらねばならぬ剣術にそう健全一如では参る
So close.
よし、
ならばそのように一切承知
無駄だ。
行くぞ切り捨てる
やります。
ならばそのように参る我が心は不動しかして自由にやらねばならぬ 剣術にそう健全一如。
ここでまっすぐ。
行くぞ。
Whoa. Oh, damn it. Fuck. I couldn't charge up, man.
では俺も力を貸してやろうか。罠を仕掛けるのは楽しいね。
切り捨てる。ならばそのように。参る。我が心は不動。しかして自由にやらねばならぬ。剣術にそう健全一如。行くぞ。新影流。
Nice try.
お嬢様、こちらをお使いください。望まれることをやります。
一切承知。
それはいつか来る兆しの星。誰に呼ばれるまでもなく、あなたは星をかざすでしょう。アラウンドカリバーン。ですから。
さて何ということか。切り捨てる。一切承知。いざ剣は生死の狭間にて大活し、善は生死木工のうち第五へ至る。剣術にそう健全一如。
Easy.
行くぞ。では参る。ごめん。
Holy shit. Miss Crane, calm down with that bond. The dragon is withdrawing. We haven't defeated it yet. Damn it. We can't let it get away. We'll never get another chance. We have to finish off now, no matter what. Engineer, give us more power. I can do that, but the butter won't be able to handle it. It'll bend the whole ship out of shape starting from the hull in our right flank. If our keel starts to work too, the whole ship will fall apart. Damn it. It's going to get away. If only I'd been more careful. It's okay, Captain. Huh? But we don't have any means left to... Senpai is right, Captain. We don't have to go any faster. She won't be going anywhere. Britain's strongest knight is still standing on our bow. I thought you would be free once Morgan was defeated. I thought being a Tamlin was chaining you down. That's why I started the Round Table Army. That's right.
Oh, silly. You can't swing a sword with tears in your eyes. Why don't you take a little break, Percival? You're doing a great job. Much better than all those fairies who sit around doing nothing. I'm proud of you, too. I can see why you were the last child to make it through the... Huh? What's wrong? You're crying harder? Oh, right. You shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry I'm so insensitive, Percival. Emotions are... Well, there's a lot I don't know about them. Right. Of course. They were all your friends, but you were the only one to be chosen. You had to grow strong, no matter how hard it was. Okay, there's something I can teach you then. It's okay to feel indebted to your friends. It's okay if you can't find a way to like yourself. One day, you'll find something you care about more than yourself. That's how it was for me. So please, remember this, Percival. No matter how terrible this world is, as long as you can find just one thing you love, then
I know. I deceived a lot of people with that. Now it's time I got what I deserve. Hear me, sacred spear. O spear of selection, pass judgment on mine actions.
何もかも失われた。僕には戦う理由がまだ一つ残っている。美しき要塞、醜き厄災を運命まで奪うのが愛だというのなら、それをこの槍で打ち砕こう。さらば我が愛。
Oh man, I guess he sacrificed himself too. Damn, that's a shame. Oh no, did that Thanos snapped on you? The spear of selection pierced the heart of the dragon's corpse. Its strength utterly spent, it fell to the ground as the knight's body aged far beyond its year and crumbled to dust where he stood. As the dragon fell, it witnessed the knight's final moments.
Percival. Percival. My brother.
A great pain racked the dragon's hollow chest. The wind screaming past its ear sounded like deep, heaving sobs. Alright, let's wrap this part here, and then I'm gonna have to postpone or stop right there after the arrow 3. Well done, my fellow Chaldeans, and you, Artoya Caster of Britain. But we don't have time to celebrate our victory just yet. Technical advisor, status report. Heavy damage to Stormborder's right flank, and we used up a ton of fuel during that battle. We'll need to keep the border up here on standby while we refuel and repair. The fuel shouldn't be an issue, since we can use the mana in the atmosphere to produce more. We'll need at least 20 minutes to repair the ship though, but I'd really love 30 so we can do it properly. I see? That long? Alright, figure something out. What about you, Administrative Advisor? How much time have we lost?
We spent 20 minutes fighting the fire calamity, and it will take 30 more to get the Stormborder in fighting shape again.
We only have 10 minutes until Sunanos appears.
Indeed, we won't make it for Sunano's emergence, but we'll still have 40 minutes until the final catastrophe. Importantly, we have a solid chance of defeating him now. The issue is the other calamity, August. She and her black dogs have burned Oxford to the ground and will soon arrive in Norwich. We simply cannot go after both her and Sunanos in the Stormborder. If we're going to defeat her, it will have to be with a separate unit.
We could always just leave her. We've got much bigger fish to fry right now. The Pit's calamity would destroy the whole world if we don't stop it, but all the Black Dogs do is burn down cities. The world won't be in any danger if we leave them alone.
Inclined to agree, Grimmer.
Once Vargas leaves Norwich behind and sets out on the ocean, she'll become a calamity for proper human history as well. However, she won't be the first fairy named Vargas to appear in British myth, and the threat she poses can be dealt with later. You can't and shouldn't prioritize her now. Wait, please. I'd like to request that a separate unit be sent out to handle her anyway. I understand she's not our top priority. I agree that we should focus all of our resources on Cernanos right now. But even so, I'm asking you to let me go after her. I can't just sit by and let Vargas become an enemy of proper human history. Besides, Norwich is both her and Bargard's hometown. Letting her destroy her own home would be tragic. Kyrie Light. You make a good point. What do you think, Silfrost? Mash Kyrie Light is your personal servant. If you believe she can do this, I'll support your decision. We don't know exactly what kind of calamity Vargas has become, but we do know it'll be one hell of a fight. With that in mind, are you sure you want to do this? I am. Very well then. Holmes, put together a plan of attack. I don't care how reckless it is. Just make sure it doesn't exceed the time we have until the Stormborder leaves for the pit. Also, I'll need Artoya Caster to stay here on the border. If you two don't make it back in time, she's our best shot against Sir None-Nose. No, on second thought, we'll need Artoya Caster, Grimmer, and the Stormborder. As long as we have all three, we should be able to take out Sir None-Nose. If you two can't make it back before it's time to go, I won't hesitate to leave you behind. Got it? So if you determine you can't complete this mission, you just come right back here, and keep an eye on the clock either way. This is the one time I will not tolerate disobedience. Get back late, and you can expect a week in solitary. Yes, sir. Good grief. This is going to be quite a complicated operation. Fortunately, I've always preferred complex cases over simple ones, and I fully respect your decision. In fact, I suspected something like this might happen, so I ensured the Shadow Border was prepared while you were down in the Spirit Cavern. All you need now is a driver. Let's see. Mr. Munir, can I count on you to escort them once more? Yeah, you bet. I'm used to parachuting in and everything now. And it's settled. The calamity at Norwich will be handled by two of our most seasoned members, Mr. Silfrost and Mash Kyrie Light. You'll have 30 minutes to complete the operation. I can't give you any more than that. We'll catapult the Shadow Border toward the outskirts of Norwich. Once you've defeated Vargas, you're to return to the rendezvous point in the Shadow Border. From there, the Storm Border will retrieve the Shadow Border, crew and all, and head for the pit. Any objections, Da Vinci? Nope, sounds perfect. I was just hoping for a little time to take care of an errand of my own. I just ran a scan on Britain and found out I left something really important back in Salisbury. I need to go back to Mike's pub to pick up Tiffone and all my records of our journey. It would be a real shame to leave here without those. Habitat's there too. You know it. We gave her a really hard job after all. So as soon as we sent the Shadow Border on its way, we'll head back to Salisbury. Once we arrive, I'll leave the Storm Border on standby in midair and go pick up Habitat at the pub myself. After that, we'll fly as close to Norwich as we can and wait for you guys to get back. Alright, now that we've got a plan, there's no time to waste. Marines, you work with Nurse and Engineer on repairs. Mash and Silfrost, you two get on the Shadow Border. The Storm Border will keep heading toward Norwich until we're ready to launch you. After ejecting the Shadow Border, we'll turn towards Salisbury and drop off Da Vinci. Got it. Stay safe out there, Da Vinci. Don't worry about me. I know Mike's pub's like the back of my hand. Okay, see you later, Silfrost. I just know you and Mash are gonna make it back fine too. Yeah, we'll see. Should I take a quick read, or maybe next time? I guess I'll just do it next time, because it will be now focusing on the Vargas point of view for the fight. Anyway, we'll continue on for more big Grand Order Avalon Lefay for tomorrow, and maybe I can try to finish the rest of that this Avalon Lefay. Hopefully, not so long. Anyway, I'm done. I'm going to bed. I'll see you guys in the next part of live stream. So, peace out and have a good night.